Hi everyone, we are back and starting to work on the DO project again. Last time we had a successful test drive. We tested the wheel and its maneuverability, checked out the control, everything worked really good. There's one last thing we need to do with the electronics before we start pulling the whole thing together, and that's to work on the sound. And to do that, we have an Arduino which is going to control an MP3 player. And then that is going to go out a pair of speakers and create the sounds for DO. So we have the Arduino Nano, our MP3 player, and our pair of speakers. Now I don't know if these speakers are going to work. They're a little light, but they do fit the enclosure. So we're going to try them out. We're going to see if we end up killing the speakers. We will get something a little heavier duty. So like everything, the first step to hooking up electronics is making wiring harnesses. That's going to take a while, so we're going to speed that process up a little bit and get this all connected in. Okay, these are the hookup wires for the Arduino to the radio receiver. And making these DuPont connectors used to be something I really hated. They were very fiddly and it seems like I always messed them up. But now that I'm getting more practice, I have to say it's getting better. One recommendation that I would make is I would not get the silicone sheathed wires. I would get the regular PVC insulation. They're a lot easier to handle. These are nice because they're so flexible, but they're really hard to slide in to the DuPont connector. These things have very little room, and the silicone insulation is so flexible that it makes them very hard to push into the connector. So that's, if I had to do it again, I would do PVC. Okay, now I'm going to plug in these harnesses to the receiver. So I have a power harness to hook up, and I can pretty much pick the power leads from any channel here. And I think we will take channel 10, if I can fit it in there. And then this is going to connect to channels 7 through 10. So those are our signal wires, and these are all going to go to the Nano, the Arduino Nano, to connect the radio toggle switches to the different soundscapes. So we're going to have different sounds like happy or sad or just kind of random sounds. So okay, and I believe we are all correct there. And I will probably try to fish our Arduino over here somewhere. We have to get it out of the way of the wheel so that we're not clipping any of that. Yeah, I definitely have room to fit larger speakers in here. As you can see, there's plenty of room. But we're going to start with these, see how that works, and go from there. All right, we'll get this set up with the DuPont plug so we can plug this into the audio board. Okay, so we have our speaker harness now so that we can get that connected up to our audio board. I'm going to put the SD card in here because later I'll probably forget and then wonder why are things not working. Okay, this is probably the moment of truth where the smoke comes out. We'll see. Well, we've got sound, but we also have an annoying whine from the motor controller. So I think that we're going to see if we can't change the frequency for the pulse width modulation on that. See if we can get rid of that awful background noise and be able to hear the speakers more clearly. Okay, I'm going to go away, do a little more research, see if we can get rid of that whine from the motor controller and try the sounds out again. Okay, I think we have the annoying whine gone from the low frequency of the pulse width modulation on the Arduino Mega. I've set it to 62.5 kilohertz, so I think it should not be very audible now. All right, now let's try again and see what we can hear. All right, and now also you can hear that the motor drive no longer has that terrible whine. So I think we have everything set up for the audio now. I don't really like these speakers. They're very high pitched, so I will be doing a little speaker shopping for the final version. But I think we're in pretty good shape in terms of all the electronics work. I got rid of that annoying whine by changing the pulse width modulation frequency on the Arduino. So that's where we are on the audio. Stay tuned for the next assembly and test. Until then, we'll see you later.